knob, just a little beyond the breaking point.
Let him fly!
We're pounding it.
Wow, this is freaking out.
Like really pounding it hard.
Live from the New Kingdom, it's the Our Big Dumb Mouth Podcast. Now, here's your hosts, Midnight Mike, Joe, and Gretchen.
Can't do it. Take this shit to do, man.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another fun-filled podcast adventure. Hooray. My name's Midnight Mike. Cratchit is over there on screen navigating the buttons, twisting the knobs.
I hate this place. Nothing
I prefer
works here.
cranking the knobs.
Oh, yeah. He cranked the knob just a little beyond the breaking point. Joe, he's back with us. Dare I say in a big way.
Go back to work.
No other way to come back.
Well, welcome back, Joe, after your brief vacation reprieve. You didn't miss much, and we had a short show on Wednesday because of my new dog. An hour and 15 minutes. I got to say, it felt pretty good.
Being thrown at this dog, though. I don't know. I'm not really comfortable with this.
Yeah, I am blaming the dog for a lot.
What was the dog doing? I saw the comments. I was like,
well, the dog
got a new dog, apparently.
The dog is chasing the cat, and it's very uncontrollable. It's technically my dog. Aussies, we have two Aussies in the house. The first Aussie is Ollie. It is bonded to my wife. It is her protector. It follows her everywhere. This new dog is bonded to me. And so when separated from me or perceives any sort of separation, it starts to go a little berserk at this stage. Ooh. So it was whimpering and crying, chasing cats. It was being very disruptive. And it was like the second or third day when we got the dog. So maybe doing the podcast wasn't the best idea, but it's got to learn at some point in time that this podcast is very important to the world. Yay! But anyways, we're gonna give it a full go today, 2 hours. And riding shotgun with me is Mr. Mustache. He's over there sleeping on the brand new dog's bed. So,
I believe that we call that establishing dominance.
Yeah. So we're gonna see what's happening.
Gretchen, did you reveal on the last show your other show? Because I saw those comments coming in too.
What other show? What are you talking
People want to know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's IT focused. We bring it up every now and then, but it's different audience.
He refuses to tell anybody.
I refuse. Well, I also refuse on that show to talk about OBDM. So
Yes.
I respect that.
You.
I respect that. A lot of people would not stop at anything to promote their other ventures, and it takes a considerable amount of will in integrity to say no. I'm not going to talk about my other stuff.
No.
So it is driving people mad, Gretchen, that you refuse to tell people. It is driving people bonkers. But I respect it.
It's a very niche IT focused show that would not interest anybody who listens to this show. So
Okay.
I got to say,
zero crossover.
If people think out there like Joe and I know the name of the show, we don't. I don't know it. Joe, do you?
Know.
Do you know it, Joe? No, I don't know it either.
No, and I gather that Cratchit probably uses his real name on it, maybe, or at least a first name. And yeah, you don't mix business with pleasure if you
Big
can
Jim
avoid
Tucker.
it. Like they,
Big Jim Tucker.
some people use their work computers. I've worked with these people throughout the years, and they'll like log into their Gmails and everything on their work machine. I'm like, dude, do not do that.
No.
Like, it's a recipe for disaster. Even if you're being completely innocent, just don't.
It is. Once you start mixing your work with your private life, it blurs. And then, these corporate entities are scanning pretty much everything you do on that computer. I know we do that at my job. I'm in charge. I'm like the internet cops at my my job. So I know exactly what people are
Can you
down.
tell people a little bit about that? Because I can recall being at one of my first traditional agencies, one of the first big breaks I had in my career. And this is back in 2007. And the IT guy, there were two IT guys that were sort of older, real senior, and then there was one that was younger, around my age at the time, which would have been about 26 or so. And he took me down to the IT room and showed me that they had these monitors and they could put like entire departments on screen and monitor what was on their screens. And he could like select individuals and track what they were doing on screen. Am I making this up? Or
No, that's a real possibility. Yeah, if you want to pay for that software,
that's also called a douchebag IT manager. If you have somebody going to that level, that person.
Oh yeah, the guy who I won't say the guy's name because I've gotten myself into trouble. But the guy who was the head of the department was a control freak and an absolute nut job. Like he was super smart, but to a detriment.
Yeah, these people are smart, but they could be micromanagers. My IT manager, or my manager, is not like that. We don't prevent people from downloading things that aren't work-related. For instance, World of Warcraft. We've seen people download games. It is not up to us to determine whether or not their management is going to tell them when and if they can't play World of Warcraft on their work computer. Like, it's probably frowned upon. Like, if you have Steam downloaded, people often use their work laptop for recreation because of the nature of my company and its policies. We don't prohibit certain things because we're basically at home work environment, and so in an effort to build team building, you can allow games to play with your teammates in order to build camaraderie and things like that.
Oh, bull crap. Whoever sold you guys on that is lying through their teeth.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
No, it's a team building thing, Mike. We have to play Call of Duty
so we don't,
4 hours a day.
We do not, only if it breaks certain security guidelines. Like if there's exfiltration of data or X, Y, and Z, then we'll smack it down. But if you want to download like the YouTube app, as long as it doesn't violate any security concerns, we don't care. But we're not the police, the Karens.
Right,
we're not the Karens.
And to your point, I agree with that in principle from the standpoint of looking at a holistic, the 10,000-foot view. I don't care what you're doing on your work computer. Are you getting your work done?
Yes.
Now, most likely, if you play your Venn diagram game of who's downloading Call of Duty on their work laptop and then who's got some lower performance numbers on their projects, they probably overlap pretty heavily.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but we don't tattle. It is up for the manager.
No, it's up to the individual managers to determine
review
this
the
person
work.
Sucks and fire him. Yeah,
exactly. Now that basically our company has mandated that everyone download Claude and Gemini and start using AI, it has produced a crazy amount of false positives. And I'm not even worried about games at this point. I'm worried about what people are running autonomously through Claude, and it has created a whole new set of nightmare situations. So I don't care. I wish they were downloading Call of Duty at this point. At least I know what that is. When it comes to giving Claude complete access to certain folders, and then I got to dig through folders to make sure that there's no credential. It gets very time consuming, and it's a time suck. But that's not what this show's about. That's what Cretched shows. Other
show. Yeah. If you want this for 2 hours every week, then the other show.
We got a lot of news to get to. I know Joe has a lot of things that he needs to talk about. So do I. And at the end of my segment here, probably at the 45-minute mark, I will be announcing the winner of the Supernatural book box giveaway, number 1.
I saw that, by the way. Just to spoil it, it's Joe. I think
no,
it's unrelated.
It's not Joe. So
I can't read good.
The Guild of Knowing
Mike
Stuff
from Ohio for some reason.
I'm sending boxes to myself for tax purposes.
Who keeps sending these here?
The Guild of Knowing Stuff will deliberate and give an exact reason of who won and who didn't. So, but that in about a half hour we'll talk about that. Until then, I got a lot of headlines to talk about. Come on, man. Yes, a lot of weird things are happening in our sky. A lot of people are very concerned when they look up in the sky. They're going, hey, what is going on in the sky?
What the hell's going on here?
Yes, a lot of people are very upset about the sky and what they may be seeing. And some unlikely people are now asking questions. J.D. Vance is out there talking about aliens and UFOs. Now Bill Maher, he's talking about aliens and UFOs. So I'll play a little bit of what Bill Maher is saying about this topic. I'll bring it up on screen so we all can look at Bill Maher together. We all do like looking at Bill Maher. So let's bring old Billy Boy up on screen. And then we'll talk about some other sky anomalies coming up here. Here we go. Here's Billy Boy.
General, given the increasing number in recent years of sightings by serious military personnel of unknown aircraft operating outside our current abilities, if at this point you don't believe aliens are here and observing us, maybe you're the conspiracy theorist. Now, in the past, when it came to alien life, I was like a liberal college girl whose roommate is a lesbian. Not sold on it, but open to the possibility. But look, my opinion changes when the information changes. Yes, there was a time when the only actual contact we heard from about aliens was rural people who'd been abducted and anally probed. But you don't hear about that anymore. Why? My guess is the aliens gathered all the information they needed about us that they could get through our ass. It's
this
where
is like
I look.
90s stand-up.
Yeah, he's
now they seem
killing
to be on to another phase. They seem to want to be spotted. Why else this constant playing peekaboo with our military? And it's serious people now. Not hippies or hillbillies, serious people. People with Mike Pence's haircut.
I think ChatGPT wrote this monologue.
Yeah, this is like
who are saying that they keep seeing things move through air and ocean in ways that defy our physics. Military pilots who say, yeah, I saw something doing Mach 10 and then it stopped on a dime and disappeared. That's not a drone. That's not something from another country. Even Elon is like, not me. Now, the government's official public line is, we don't know what these things are. But in private, what they say is, no, seriously, we don't know what the fuck these things are. But they didn't leak from a lab in China. That's why in 2022, Congress had historic first-of-its-kind hearings on what the Defense Department calls unidentified aerial phenomena, formerly called UFOs, but don't dead name them. And again, it's not weirdos and beardos saying this. It's the guys with buzz cuts and security clearances who are spilling the tea. And politicians who you don't think are crazy people, like Chuck Schumer, Harry Reid, Marco Rubio, Kirsten Gillibrand. They're not disputing it. Jimmy Carter said he saw a UFO. George W. Bush said, yeah, there are secrets about aliens, and no, I won't tell you. Barack Obama recently made headlines when he said aliens, quote, are real, but I haven't seen them.
So this goes on for another 5 minutes on the Bill Maher Real-Time podcast. And that's a significant amount of time for Bill Maher to devote to this topic. And considering that not but 2 weeks ago we had the U.S. government get aliens.gov and alien.gov. So they got two domains. And they posted something on that website that says basically coming soon. Like they're about ready to update the website with content finally. There's weird things going on in the sky, which I'll get to. And then you have J.D. Vance giving an interview with, I believe, Benny Johnson. And I believe this is the first time ever a sitting president or vice president, in this case, has acknowledged the UFO phenomenon in such a way. most of the time, they're pretty dodgy about it. They'll say it's interesting or I'm looking into it. It's a fascinating topic. This is the first time I've ever heard anyone in authority say something like this. I'll bring this up on screen. Here we go.
You going to release all the UFO files?
We're working on it. It's funny. When I came in, I was obsessed with the UFO files. And then you start getting really busy worrying about the economy and national security and things like that. But I've still got 3 more years as vice president. I will get to the bottom of the UFO files.
Okay. Have you peeked? Have you done a peek?
Have I what?
Have you done a peek? Have you
So I actually haven't. I have
full
not.
Independence Day.
I have not been able to spend enough time on this to really understand it. Yeah. But I am going to. Trust me. I'm obsessed with this. I've already had a couple of times where I'm like, all right, we're going to Area 51. We're going out to New Mexico. We're going to sort of get to the bottom of this. And then the timing of the trip just didn't work out. But trust me, anybody who's curious about this, I'm more curious than anybody. And I've got 3 years of the very, very tippy top of the classification. I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
Okay. So you haven't been to Area 51 yet?
Not yet.
Some people say they keep the UFOs in Ohio. They might,
Hangar 18, Hangar 18, right? I've heard that
top.
As well. But I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet.
Okay. All right. Well, we're waiting for it. We saw aliens.gov.
You know me.
We saw aliens.gov.
I don't think they're aliens. I think they're demons anyway, but that's a longer discussion.
Well, I can't let you go without a follow-up on that. Because Barack Obama is on this podcast and he goes, yeah, aliens are real, but like, here's where they're not. And,
I did not.
And so Obama says, yes, aliens are, he gets asked point blank, are aliens real? He said, oh, yeah. And then he goes, but they're not at Area 51. And
where are they?
Well, that's what he says. Right. That's a great question.
Trump
had to go save him, and he said he's going to declassify.
Okay.
So you think they're demons?
Well, look, I think that celestial beings who fly around, who do weird things to people, I think that the desire to describe everything celestial, everything is otherworldly, to describe it as aliens. I mean, every great world religion, including Christianity, the one that I believe in, has understood that there are weird things out there, and there are things that are very difficult to explain. And I naturally go, when I hear about sort of extra natural phenomenon, that's where I go to, is the Christian understanding that, there's a lot of good out there, but there's also some evil out there. And I think that one of the devil's great tricks is to convince people he never existed.
So he's calling them demons, like right off the bat. Like, he's kind of laughing and joking about it. The first time, if there's any other sitting U.S. president or vice president that has called UFOs demons, please let me know. Maybe they haven't been on record or given an interview about it, but I'd like to hear it.
Did you clip him saying tippy top so you can pair that with your Trump tippy top?
I haven't clipped it yet.
Tippy top.
I got, and maybe that must be something that they say to each other.
Tippy top.
I don't say tippy top to a lot in my personal life. So that must be like some inside verbiage that they use.
Wonder if they'll change it from tippy top to tippity top.
Oh, I see.
I've heard that.
Little variation right there.
All right, I'll rip that down and pull that file then.
So JD Vance seems curious about the topic. He hasn't had a lot of time to devote to it, but he seems curious and that they're demons. You would imagine if you genuinely think that these things are real and demons, that this might be priority number 1 for you. I would hope that demons are casually and consistently visiting Earth, abducting people, and doing God knows what with them. I would put that at the top of my list, but apparently JD Vance has different priorities. So, okay. But it's all happening when it comes to that. I suspect we'll have some sort of government announcement here pretty soon in relation to aliens. I doubt they're gonna. I don't think that the administration will announce that UFOs are demons. That seems a little scandalous, but that could be the argument behind the scenes. It is rumored that this is part of the discussion, that half the Pentagon, who are Christians, they don't want to engage with any sort of phenomenon that they might perceive to be demonic. And the other half is saying, well, they got awesome tech. They got cool ships. We should at least get to know them and see if we can screw them over in some deal. But we don't know. It's all speculation at this point. But when it comes to all the other things going on in the sky, we've had a rash of METEOR shower. Like, I guess you could call it a meteor shower, but it's been fairly persistent over the last 2 weeks. We had one over Cleveland about a week and a half ago at this point. We had several over Texas. Now even there's been a new one over Austin. And people are looking up and they're saying, well, these are pretty slow moving at this point. A lot of the skeptics online, like Mick West, he has come out and said, you're just looking at regular aircraft at twilight or dawn where the angle of the sun is hitting in a particular way, and you're just observing the contrails. Now, that's possible, but some of these things look pretty slow moving. I'll bring up on screen. This is Owen Schroyer of former InfoWars fame, and he was so taken with what he's seen, he decided to stop his workout at the gym and talk about this. At least that's my opinion of where he's at. So you guys can let me know where you think he's at. It looks like he's at the gym, which if this guy was doing it at the gym, this would annoy me. But what do I know? I'm not a content creator like Owen.
All right, guys, I'm going to try my best to explain what I and others saw tonight west of Austin, pretty far west. And I found some images on X of some other people that saw it. I was driving, so I couldn't really get a good picture. So I'm driving west. It's sunset, twilight, and I see a bunch of objects in the sky, probably like 4 or 5 objects. And they're striking, like you can't miss them. And I'm thinking, well, this is just the twilight hour, the sunset reflecting off of airplanes or something. You know what I'm talking about. And so I was like, oh, okay, whatever, that's just what it is. And then one of them, I don't know if I would say it blew up, but it just started falling out of the sky and eventually caught fire. And this lasted for like minutes, probably. And then the other objects that were around it started moving and dispersing as well. Someone said they saw 2 fireballs. I only saw the one. And then I looked up at the news and they were talking about how there are meteors or whatever. Folks, this was no meteor. If they try to say this was a meteor, that's BS. This was not a meteor. This was a flying object that caught fire and fell out of the sky. And there were at least 2 or 3 other aircraft right there when it happened. I'm not the only one that saw this. It was crazy. Honestly, it was crazy to.
So that's what he saw right there. So that is in Texas.
Well, is that his footage, or did somebody overlay other footage over him talking?
So I believe that's the footage he gathered from what other people posted online. That was what he saw from his area of Texas.
Because at least the video we're seeing here, that is clearly a plane.
It looks to be twilight. It looks to be like what happens at twilight, where the angle of the sun, it really does create like a volumetric kind of a representation of the contrails. Or
it's a perspective thing. However, there are a lot of other way better videos of meteors, failed satellites, Ryan Reynolds, whatever it is, tumbling through the sky, way better than what Owen posted here. If this is the actual clip from Owen and not somebody else like taking his commentary and overlaying video behind it. By the way, check the Carrot Shop for you.
Check the Carrot Shop, okay. You got the little tippy top from Vance. Awesome. Let me get that. I'll put that on deck right here.
Tippy top.
Yeah. There we go. There is another one of these, and that is out of Florida. And so there's, like I said, these things, wherever they're happening, they seem to be captivating people, and people are taking notice. Some people are saying, well, more people are just looking up now more than ever, which I find hard to believe. I don't think.
Wait, that's legitimately someone's commentary as to why we're seeing all this now?
Some people, people are saying, oh, people are just looking up more. No, they're not. People are not looking up more.
That's the most asinine thing.
It's like, oh, well, we have more cameras than ever. Well, that's true. We have more cameras, but I don't think that's a reason. I think we're seeing more activity in the sky because there is more activity in the sky. Now here is another one. This is from Florida. Here's the image.
By the way, just as an aside, before we get into like all the potential possibilities of what these are, logically you're going to say, oh, they're meteors from some sort of space activity, some sort of celestial mechanics things going on. Where is NASA? Because apparently this is their job, right? To come out and say, oh, well, Earth is currently passing through the such and such field, which is going to have this over the next 2 weeks. But they're busy doing anything other than space stuff, so we don't hear anything from them.
Yeah, so the footage I have up here is old. Let's see here. Let me get another one. There is some more Florida Fireball. This is the problem with X. People just post up everything for clicks and likes, and it's very difficult to find true information. But here's one up on screen. This says, meanwhile, in Florida, little kids are amazed at what appears to be a meteor, which then stops being a meteor, morphs into an orb, then disappears, then reappears. And this has got so people just listening at home, it looks like some sort of orb with a trail behind it. This is at dusk.
How does it have a trail if it's an orb?
Well, it stops. So there's an orb with a trail behind it.
Which video are you looking at?
It's up on screen. I'll post it in the
yeah, but I mean, you're 15 seconds ahead of
me. Yeah, I'm going to post it in the Carrot Shop. Here we go. And so very curious. These things are happening pretty consistently. It seems like every other day we have a new image of some streaking object in the sky.
By the way, where's your mic? What is that?
Oh, geez, you're right. This does call for, oh my God, what is that? What is that thing?
Whoa, check it out. There's two of them.
Yeah, well, no, there's just one of them.
Mike, what the fuck is this?
Will you stop yelling?
Did you stop yelling?
So, just to give a little taste, okay, there's a lot of different weird things going in the sky. Maybe some are identifiable, reasonable explanations of what might be going on. But, we don't know yet. We just don't know what's going on just yet.
What the hell is going on here?
And so, who, like you said, is this NASA's responsibility, Gretchen? You would imagine.
I think you'd hear something.
You would imagine that they would be saying something. But this report from Gizmodo right here says, astronomers say recent rash of meteor sightings warrant serious investigation.
What the hell is going on here?
Yes. According to this headline here, about a dozen of the biggest fireballs spotted by hundreds of witnesses across the sky are all coming from the same place, according to new trajectory analysis. Well, good. I'm glad that someone's finally, someone of note, someone with a telescope is finally chiming in with this.
People are finally looking up, Mike.
I guess people are finally stopped looking down at their phone and they're looking up at the sky. I don't know why this article sucks, but I thought it was going to have a little bit more. Let me see if I can find Here we go. Astronomers are still searching for answers behind this year's unusual wave of loud and fiery meteor sightings. Over 3,000 people have witnessed slowly disintegrating daytime fireballs over Western Europe. Hundreds more reported the sight and sonic boom, a 7-ton, 6-foot, 2-meter asteroid screeching above Ohio. That's the one that was double the size of Ryan Reynolds. March alone,
up by Cleveland, right?
Yeah, up by Cleveland. That also coincidentally had those Bigfoot sightings. March alone has already seen over 40 meteor cases, with yet another ripping through the sky over Texas last Saturday, breaking the sound barrier before a fragment of it crashed into a North Houston home, one we talked about a couple episodes ago, and ricocheted around the bedroom like a pinball. I didn't hear that part of the story.
Yeah, that's news.
Yeah, that's a little part of the story. Now, a new analysis published by the American Meteor Society on Wednesday has confirmed just how much of a statistical outlier this 2026 year barrage has been, as well as early indications of where all these rocks in our solar system might be coming from. Quote, after years of stable baseline activity, something appears to have shifted, according to the AMS. This is researcher Mike Hankey, who manages the Society's Fireball reporting tool. The signal is consistent.
They have a Fireball? I want to look that one.
Yeah, I guess they have a Fireball reporting tool. The signals are consistent across multiple metrics. According to those metrics, including total witness figures, the number of cases involving sonic booms, and the duration of the sightings, Hankey says fireball activity has increased. So it's going up, people. Yay! It is going up.
What is going on? What is going on? What is going on?
I'll put the link for this in Carrot Shop when you want it, but they do have they log all this stuff, the American Meteor Society. So
I'm glad somebody is, because apparently NASA's not logging this, or do they even have a public website where people can report this stuff? I don't think that they do.
NASA's busy looking at climate stuff.
Fireballs from outer space loud enough to produce a sonic boom and witnessed by 50 or more people have blitzed a trail through Earth's atmosphere approximately once every 3 days since the year began, based on reports from the American Meteor Society. What makes 2026 unique is the combination, Hankey wrote. Prior high sound years like 2021 and 2023 had elevated percentage but moderate event counts. In 2026, both the rate and the absolute count are high. Looking at meteor events with the highest number of witnesses, meaning 50 or more people have witnessed it, 30 out of 38 were meteors that were big, tough, and fast enough to produce a sonic boom, which already makes the first quarter of 2026 an outlier historically. But Hankey also noted also determined that the total number of mass sighting events and the volume of those witness reports were outliers. So, in other words, while the total number of meteor cases have not deviated from researchers' statistical expectations, the percentage of loud and well-documented cases did. So maybe more people, what they're saying, are more people looking up? Maybe. So how does this all end up? This is a well-documented article here. Hankey speculated that AI chatbot advice might have helped more people report their sightings to the American Meteorological Society. One potential very mundane explanation for the volume of reports, but there's more than enough mystery left to warrant serious investigation, in his opinion. Whether this represents a statistical norm variance, he said, an uncharacterized debris population, or something else entirely, will require continued monitoring and further analysis. So if NASA is not going to do it, then who will? This ragtag group of astronomers with telescopes, I guess that's who we are left with. Is this the society of nerds looking up at the sky with nothing better to do than to, I guess, pound their pud and look at meteors.
What are you, a college boy?
Yeah, pretty much. Just a bunch of cowards.
Goddamn nerds.
So something is happening in the sky, and we don't know what's going on. But we do have people that are at least asking the questions at this point. We'll ask you some questions, maybe getting some stuff out there. Let's take a look at the Fireball reports. Let's see, you posted that link in there. Let's see what this looks like. So it's just a list of logs. I like logs.
Well, yeah, but if you click on any of those, there's details where they. So pick on the ones in the U.S. in particular, because they're better documented. Where people were when they saw it, the direction of travel. Are there any photos or videos? So it's pretty comprehensive, actually.
Oh yeah, I'm deep in it. I'm looking at Alabama and Georgia and Tallahassee.
Alabama.
Good. This is quite the tool for reporting. So, looks pretty interesting. I don't want to be concerned. Like, at least nothing is that we know of has hit the ground and caused massive damage. Besides to that one house in Texas, so no one's gotten hurt yet.
Or it ricocheted around like in a pinball.
Yeah,
pinball game. That's interesting.
Pound Town.
Yeah, they got
Pound Town.
They got pounded by meteors, and it's no fun.
We're pounding it.
So when it comes to that, we do not know a lot of stuff. We're asking questions, but we don't know a lot of stuff. But we're old, Joe. Joe, we are old, and
God, aren't we?
We're old, and maybe our knowledge is waning. We forget a lot of stuff. We can only hope that the next generation of people will be more educated and not only ask the right questions, but perhaps also seek the answers. So let's go to some people on the street and see what is going on with our youth. Okay, let's take a look at the youth. Hey, as Corey Haim once said, what's up with the youth? And there's no better place to look than spring break for a comprehensive report of the youth while they're dressed in bikinis and probably drunk. So let's take a look. Here we go. What is going on? It's up on screen.
What college you guys go to?
UTC. FAU.
Sacred Heart University.
Ohio State.
Spring break 2026. What is the game plan?
Drinking. Blackout with my rack out.
If my mom is watching, I'm sorry, Mom. But I've been getting pretty drunk almost every day.
Hook up with some girls. Get with as many girls as we can. And not come
Dude,
back
this
with
almost
STD.
looks like AI.
With one person each night, that's it.
So how many guys have you made out with this week?
I've been here for about 10 days. So 10.
What were their names?
I don't remember.
Name one.
They look so AI.
Daryl, Michael, Job, Tom, Sims.
Name
You got to grab some of those quotes, too.
one. What is the craziest thing you've seen at spring break?
Not that crazy. I've seen people do like cocaine off of boobs. I saw a girl like black out on the street. That was pretty exciting. Sunday mimosa drag races.
You see that guy take his pants off in the middle of the club?
There's a lot of famous people down here.
Have you seen Johnny Belisario?
What?
Never mind.
Okay.
What is the wildest thing you've done down here?
Got with somebody the first night that I came down here.
Pole dancing. 2 days ago.
Stripping naked, getting in the water. You gotta say. What'd you do? You went something crazy.
I'll strip.
Honestly. All right, on the strip.
No, when you have this.
Okay, that wasn't public, but yeah, okay. That's.
All right, ask me
issue
our question.
facing America is the most important to you?
What bikini I'm gonna wear next? Obesity is terrible.
Ice. Not personally. I'm legal.
Getting a tan on the beach. That's the most important thing in my life right now.
I'm thinking about Starbucks, to be honest. I'm thinking about Starbucks, what I'm gonna get for today.
The elevators don't work. You got 43 floors. The elevators don't work.
I could take this little glass of water, drop it in the magnets. That's the end of the elevator.
Dude, we are so
What have
effed.
you heard that Donald Trump has been doing recently?
Gulf of America. That's the last thing I kept up with.
We're going to war with Iraq. That's been crazy.
What do you do in Colombia? You got Maduro out? I don't with Trump, but that done.
He's like trying to sue those people for making jokes about him.
600 times!
You must be happy.
I'm very happy.
The Ayatollah's dead.
I'm so. What? Who? What? What is that?
Who the is Ayatollah?
I've never heard that word in my life.
Lewis, what's Ayatollah?
I haven't heard. I found out about Chuck Norris yesterday. That was more devastating to me.
He was the supreme leader of Iran.
He's dead?
Damn it.
We killed him.
Oh, you did? You killed him?
Johnny,
Whoa! If you were in charge, how would you take on Iran?
Yeah, all my girls and we would all start putting belts on them.
We get a bunch of girls in bikinis, we make them run across the battlefield. All the guys are distracted. We all run in.
Look at him in his eyes, I guess. Just flirt with him.
I'd blow him up.
I don't know enough about it, but I would probably wipe it out.
Drop a bomb. Baby, bomb the out of him.
I would bomb the out of him.
What have you heard about Venezuela?
Venezuela? Nothing.
I'm not sure.
I barely know what'll be going on in like Tennessee where I'm from.
That they beat us in the World Baseball Classic?
Have you heard anything else?
No.
Nothing. I have heard nothing about Venezuela.
You know, honestly, I don't know and I don't care.
Where is Venezuela?
I don't know. I'm drunk. I don't know. Venezuela? Isn't that in Spain?
No.
Go easy on the tequila.
What do you want to tell Jesse Waters? You're on his show.
That's the guy who was eating the steak, remember? It was like in front of the vegan guy.
Oh, Jesse Waters. Do you know who I am?
I do not.
Here's Johnny.
Hi, Johnny.
All right, there's a little taste of spring break USA. We're in good hands, Crash It. Don't worry. Don't worry.
By the way, and I think they played part of this on No Agenda, and they always bring it up that when they do man on the street interviews, they are selected to find specific types of people. So, take that for what it is. However, keep in mind, these are probably average college students doing their thing during spring break. Joe, this is what's become of Jekyll Island, by the way. But keep in mind, these people are average. These are average people, which means 50% of the population is dumber than these people. So enjoy.
I don't know. I think even though we went to art school, Joe and I want to say we had a better grasp in 96 to 2000 of current events than what these folks have.
Maybe. Well, I was pretty activated back then, though. I was already saying, "Oh, I'm a libertarian," blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we were paying attention. But I got to tell you, I want to hang out with these people because it reminds me. I bring up the scene with Cypher in Matrix all the time, where he wants to go back into the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be where they are.
Yeah, they're having fun.
Tippy top.
They're having fun. They're not thinking about war with Iran and scooping up Venezuelan politicians,
You're right, Joe. These people don't care what the heck is going on. They're just having fun. Yeah. They're just having fun. Well, I have a lot more news. We'll get to it next week. I have things on exorcisms. I have chatbots out of control. And you know who's to blame for that Iran school bombing? AI. We'll talk about that next year and the geopolitical situation of what's going on with Trump.
Next year.
Next time.
You're really teasing people.
But until then, we have to announce right now the winner of the Supernatural book box. We have to let people know. People, if you're just catching up, I am giving away half my books, which include UFO books. We're talking about supernatural, paranormal, geopolitical, half of them. And I got probably in the neighborhood of 7 boxes. The first one that's going out is the Supernatural book box. And the Guild of Knowing Stuff is deliberating. I posted up the image on Patreon. People replied with their name and the reason why they think they deserve the box. And I submitted that list and their reasons to the Guild of Knowing Things, and this is their deliberation. Here we go.
Ah, yes. The candles flicker, the parchment curls, the guild murmurs in velvet tones before the sacred shelves of knowledge. As leader of the Guild of Knowing Stuff, I have reviewed the supplicants, the pleas, the chaos, the pickle-based devotion, and the alarming amount of process contained within the applicant pool. The official record before the Guild is the uploaded entry list. How was the winner determined for the Supernatural book box? How was the winner picked? The others, the losers, were not picked because, in most cases, they gave the Guild a joke, a shout, a little burst of beautiful madness, but not quite a full argument. Some were too short, some were very funny, and yes, the Guild appreciates funny, but funny is not always destiny. Some had strong energy, very strong energy, but not enough explanation.
Okay, well, who won then? Come on, give it to us.
Now, I'll call on to the winner, the chosen one, the keeper of the torch, Matt Walsh. The Guild chooses Matt Walsh. You know why? Because his reason had a rare and beautiful balance. It was grounded, human, generous, and charmingly specific. Yes, his son is starting Little League in 2 weeks. The Big League Chew would clearly land, and Matt himself wants the books. This is not just a plea for stuff. It is a small domestic scene. A father, a kid, a season about to begin, and a box that would actually be enjoyed by more than one person. The Guild likes that. The Guild respects a household where books get read and gum gets appreciated. That, my friends, is civilization.
You had lots of time on your hands.
Oh, yeah.
Official Guild ruling. The Supernatural book box goes to Matt Walsh. The candles have spoken. The parchment is sealed. The skull on the shelf remains neutral. The Guild of Knowing Stuff is now closing the door. Goldblum out.
There we go. Matt Walsh, I will contact you directly. We'll have that shipped out within the next 5 business days. And the next book box that will be given away, I'll post it up here probably within the next 2 days, will be the Alien Abduction book box. Until that time, we're going to go over to Joe. Here we go.
You're all about these books.
Yeah.
Did you forget to mention, is there Fox and Sons in there?
Oh, yes. The Fox and Sons coffee will be included in the first 5 book boxes. Also, OBDM stickers, a Piss Army patch, and some other little knickknacks like night pickle stuff, or maybe even a Bigfoot with a turgid erection little figurine. We don't know.
Wow, you still got those hanging around.
Yeah, I got a few of those, so.
Cool.
Yeah.
My brother, did I mention on the show, I sent a bag of the Fox and Sons to my brother?
No, you did not mention that.
Okay, so we were just going back and forth about how if you like the taste of coffee, which some people do not, but I like the taste of coffee. And we were just talking about how it tastes like coffee times 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like if you like coffee, it's like coffee.
You taste the coffee, and I drink my coffee black. I don't add any additives. I want to taste the coffee.
2? Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like. I like it a little bitter, but also light. I like a punch of caffeine. I like to be pounded with caffeine.
We're pounding it.
And Fox and Sons pounds me just the way I like to be pounded.
Do you remember the deal, Cretched? It's code PISS or code OBDM.
That's right.
It changed.
Piss.
We have both.
Both still work. I think it's 10% off. Steve will get upset about that because I can't remember. And free shipping still good for like 3 more days.
Yep. So. Get in now.
Get it in. So we were talking about Jekyll Island before the show, and then Cretched just mentioned it because it's one of those quiet little islands right off a town called Brunswick in Georgia, and I don't know, maybe our crowd is kind of all on board, but I think younger people, maybe not, people who are just getting into it, kind of take it for granted that we did all the 9/11 research. We did the JFK research. We know about the Federal Reserve and all that stuff. So I don't know, I thought this was cute, a little refresher, or even just the beginning of somebody's research into Jekyll Island. AI is making this stuff a lot more interesting to research in a way.
To a certain degree, I would say yes. I think it can make it more interesting and definitely a little bit more concise. Let's bring this up on the screen.
Because you can do, like, if you watch this, it's like they would do these, who is the slasher in Europe?
Jack the Ripper?
Jack the Ripper. Yeah, you'd make this glorified movie, and it took all these special effects and these scenes and everything. But if you look at like what this is going to be, this Jekyll Island thing, you're doing the Jack the Ripper movie, but you're doing it with the Jekyll Island thing, which a lot of people aren't going to touch in Hollywood for one reason or another. And
so before I play it, we should start creating content like this, Joe. This is basically what the History Channel used to do back in the 90s, where they're talking about the Civil War. All they have is still pictures. We have more technology than that to tell stories.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it looks great.
So you could tell all these damn stories, like Plato in the Cave, all these things that just people in Hollywood are not going to do. Yeah. Or maybe they will, but I mean, it's I don't know. I can see why certain Hollywood celebrities are up in arms about what's going to happen to the industry.
It's very upsetting to them. Here we go.
1910, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds and Morgans met secretly on Jekyll Island. Their plan? Build a system that would protect their banks from ever failing. Prior to this meeting, bankers kept lending money they didn't actually have, because every loan meant more interest and hence more profit. But during the 1907 financial crisis, people tried to withdraw their savings and realized the banks didn't have the cash. So this meeting at Jekyll Island was done to create a permanent safety net. The solution they engineered was the Federal Reserve, established in 1913 as America's central bank with a special power, creating money out of thin air. Banks could still collect interest by loaning out money they didn't possess. And if their lending became too reckless, the Federal Reserve would act as their backup. They would just print the money and bail them out. This created a system where they had no risks. Heads, they make billions on interest loans. Tails, taxpayers bail them out. In 1910...
Yeah. Things changed. Hey, before you move on, Joe, did you happen to see that Jimmy Dore segment where it was a paid advertisement of a guy trying to sell courses on how not to pay income taxes?
Yeah, I did. These guys come around every, 5-10 years.
I was surprised Jimmy Dore had that guy on. He must have paid a lot of money. But his arguments, with AI now to dig through 10,000 pages of legal documents, it might be more possible than ever to battle the IRS. It's possible.
Yes, for sure. And I'm sure, all these AI, I don't know if Claude, I wanted to transfer over to it. I haven't gotten around to it, but I know ChatGPT and Grok seem to be constrained within a certain guardrail of legality and everything. You know what I mean? I feel like they're a little bit, they regulate themselves. They build it in for, I'm sure, legal reasons.
What the hell's going on? I don't know if that was over here or not. Okay.
You know what I mean? They don't want to get sued by, they're already in trouble in a lot of cases where it's ChatGPT made my son commit suicide. So they have to put in some policing.
Yeah. So you got to use the Chinese model to battle U.S. laws.
Right. So then how are you going to ask ChatGPT, how do I not pay taxes? It'll be like, hey, now.
You got to be.
Hey, we don't want to be talking like that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, so the Federal Reserve, it is such a crazy thing when you really think about it, because if the Federal Reserve loans the government, so the trick is they call it the Federal Reserve, and it's not federal. It's a bunch of private bankers, and wouldn't you know it, I think there's never been, it's always been 98% Jewish populated board, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
I know most of the Treasury secretaries are, but anyhow, they sold it as this is going to bring stability to the financial system, and then I think the Depression happened after you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's did it really do that?
Just about.
But then the other thing,
10 to 15 years after.
Yeah, it was in 29.
Yeah.
So it would have been 17 years later, or whatever. I don't fucking know. I can't math. But yeah, it was around that time where the income tax comes in. But if you think about the Federal Reserve loaning the government money at interest, then it feels too simple to me. But if you borrow $1 and it starts collecting interest immediately, that's the timer. It's it never comes back down.
No.
Johnny Bunny.
Do you know what I mean? It just compounds and compounds, and it's never usury is illegal in I think Arab countries.
Yeah, I think Sharia law puts a clamp down on that.
And I think Jewish folks they're exempt from usury. I've heard this. You talk about Jimmy Dore and this guy who was on, but I've heard that if you are a practicing Jew or what do they call them, the legit ones with the curls and all that stuff.
I don't know the exact name. But I know what they look like, Joe.
Yeah, right?
Orthodox. Orthodox.
Yep. Yeah, if you're an Orthodox Jew, you can make some claim and you don't have to pay interest and stuff. I don't know how true this is, but anyhow, it's a total scam. And then they do they built in the income tax right around then too, because that's World War I and we got to pay for the war, and only the rich people are going to pay it, and then it's just going to go away after the war. And here we are, 10 bajillion pages of tax code because just the rich are going to pay it for World War I. But then you have none of that makes any sense. And then you have this guy saying something that I've been thinking for years. I'm sure a lot of us have thought this. It's just because we're coming up on April, let's think about how much of our wonderful services we enjoy from our wonderful government doing all the wonderful things that they do, roads.
Okay.
Hey, pay your taxes. It's okay, great. What do I owe you? They're like, we don't know. It's like, okay, so you want me to figure it out? And they're like, yes. And then it's like, okay, well, I'll do my best. I'll try to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then you figure it out and they're like, no, actually you're wrong. So now you have a penalized. It's like, oh, so you do know what I owe. And they're like, no, we don't know. It's like, well, then wait, what do you mean? They're like, yeah, we have no idea. We just make it up. It's all fake. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm just not going to pay then. They're like, no, you can't do that because then you go to jail. It's like, okay, well, I don't want to go to jail. So how much do I owe you? And they're like, we don't know.
It's insane.
It's clown world, dude. It's not real. World. The FBI was using floppy disks until like 2 years ago. It's like, what is going on? What is happening?
You told me that. I can't even like visually get my head around that.
Yeah. They like didn't have the internet. They're like still printing stuff out on paper using fax machines, and it's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And it's because they're incentivized to be slow. Okay. Hey, pay your taxes. It's like, okay, great. What do I owe you? They're like,
it's the bloops right there. But this guy makes an excellent point. And that's what makes the whole situation so infuriating. It's like, yeah, just tell me what I owe you at this point, but they don't want to. They don't want to.
No. They want you to humiliate yourself.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't know. Well, that Jimmy Dore guy was saying that
as an aside here, the tax code stuff has been every couple of years, every 10, 12 years, something like that. It comes up again to dramatically streamline it and automate it to eliminate exactly what these guys are talking about. And there is a monstrous tax lobby. You got your folks from TurboTax and H&R Block and all that stuff who make billions of dollars a year being the middleman for exactly this sort of service. So as strange as it sounds, the government could, and sounds like most of the government wants to, actually eliminate a lot of these silly things about how much tax you owe and all that stuff. Because yes, they could update that and take it out of your paycheck every 2 weeks or every month or whatever it is. And you don't have to worry about it. But there's a huge lobby to maintain that creaky mechanism of having to fill out stupid forms and do your calculations for your taxes every spring. So it is
that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, you're talking like Intuit has an incentive to say no, don't fix this, don't clarify it.
Go look up H&R Block and look at I think they have twin towers in downtown Kansas City. They're like 40 stories each. You don't get that out of nothing.
Oh, that's disappointing. That's just like Trump was talking about the executive order to end the switching of the time, daylight savings.
Yeah.
Like you can't do one good thing. Like you have to do the Iran war. Like
I guess so. Change the time, bomb people. It's tough to decide.
I know. Like you said earlier, like with the UFO, we're being visited by creatures from other planets. Yeah, but they got a lot of oil in the Middle East.
Yeah. You don't want to battle demons when you can go bomb brown people.
Yeah. So much more convenient. Anyhow, it's so crazy, and I as much as you don't want to talk about Israel, it's all they can't stop doing crazy shit, and the Charlie Kirk thing is connected to it, and we've talked about it, and it's such a touchy subject, and you can see all the wrong people getting riled up about it. Or the right people, depending on how you look at it. Like when Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin and Laura Loomer are all like so against Candace looking into the Charlie Kirk shooting and everything. Like Joe Kent comes out and says, "Hey man, we were just going to look into it," and everybody kind of got in the way. Like there's something there, you know what I mean? Like if you touch a open wound and you flinch, like it's because the wound is open. If it didn't mean anything, like they just let Candace rant and rave on her show and be like, whatever, it's crazy. You know what I mean? But because she's saying things that is like, you know what I mean? They're hitting a wound.
It's stinging him somewhere.
This was a lie.
So Andrew Colvett, he's part of this Turning Point USA, and he's friendly with Megyn Kelly still, and they're talking about, there's a post-mortem, legitimately a post-mortem on the Charlie Kirk stuff. But listen to Andrew Colvett here. This is one of those things like when George Bush giggled at the Henry Ford eulogy he was given, and he talked about JFK getting assassinated and by a lone gunman, and Bush Sr.'s like, he giggled.
Yeah, he smiled, he smirked. Here we go.
Yeah.
They're processing their guilt in the way that
their grief,
their grief. Thank you, and their mourning in the way that they know how, and it's going to come out in 1,000 different ways.
They're processing.
You catch it?
Their guilt?
They're processing their guilt in the way that
their grief.
Their grief. Thank you. And
Thanks, Kelly.
They're mourning.
Processing their guilt.
That is conspiracy trash.
Isn't that crazy?
They're processing their guilt the way they know how. So I guess I want to see the larger context about who is he referencing in that? Is he talking about like everyone that is coming up with these conspiracy theories, or is it TTS?
No,
TTUSA?
it's I think Megyn Kelly is talking about who wants Andrew to open up about how crazy it is that Candace is doing what she's doing, and that, you know, when you call out some of the strange behaviors of the people around Turning Point and so forth, Andrew Colvett, and they've been saying this from the beginning, like that's why when you have Candace Owens doing like the pro wrestling things and everything, like a week after Charlie's dead, and she's got like this glitter dress and all that stuff. When that all happened and people were like, whoa, lady, they were like, well, everybody grieves differently. And so that he's just kind of, you know, beating that dead horse again.
It was, it's not, like I said, it's not how I would grieve, but to each their own, I suppose.
So this is creepy. And I don't remember, I don't remember just how creepy this was.
All right. Well, let's take a look at some creep factor. So,
I love you. I love you. I love you. I know. I love you. I love you so much. I love you. I love you. God bless you.
So it paused right there. So this is, for people listening at home, this is Charlie's wife, Charlie Kirk's wife, when she was doing a social media post of her grieving at the casket of Charlie Kirk, kissing his hand, holding up a medallion. And Joe, everyone grieves differently. This is how she grieves on social media.
This
right,
stuff is brain rot.
Could you get get your phone out? What I want you to do, and I want to post this online.
Okay,
right? Like, what were you thinking? You know what I mean? Like, if my husband died, this is like the last thing I would do.
Same with any one of my friends, loved ones, especially my wife. I would not want to have the world see them like this, and especially like that's a very intimate relationship with you.
Be a private moment,
very private moment.
Yeah, like if it were me, like I would, you know, and I just like to do this broadly, but like it's go for long walks and don't have headphones, don't have tech, just, you know, look at the sky.
Yeah,
but basically just, you know, it's bizarre.
Yeah, you talk about the passing of your spouse months, maybe even year later. You know, how you dealt with it, where you're going through maybe your headspace, because in that moment, you're probably not thinking straight. You're probably so full of grief that you might say things that you don't mean, or it's not coming out the same way, or the way you intended. Yeah, this is bad. I'm surprised no one in her inner circle said, maybe you shouldn't do this. Not unless they said, this is great, you should do this. You know what I'm saying? Like someone said, yeah, this is good.
Right. You'd almost feel like they were trying to sabotage her, or they're just really not good at this. But it does make me think of all the boomer mistakes that people make, like, and they just try to rerun the same play. I think some of these people are just really dumb.
It's possible. I hope.
Did you see this Drewski thing come through? Can you play Facebook videos? You probably can.
I probably can. I'll see what I can do. I probably can.
This was getting this is definitely a no-no, but this kind of, again, if it weren't close to true, it wouldn't be funny and people wouldn't be doing it.
Let's see here. Let me see if I can break this open on my Oh, here we go. I think I can play it. Here we go. Bring this up. How conservative women in American act.
War is raging in Iran.
We're praying for all the soldiers and troops.
That's great that you're praying, but
how about all the kids that died when the USA
turn it up
hit
a little bit.
the towers?
It broke my heart. That is the
In what ways have you grown closer to Jesus?
I serve a righteous God. And that is why we say our prayers. And we are all his children. But when I say children, I mean like the holy, blessed Trinity, which is why I hold the Bible. Sweet cream foam chai ice matcha. And Bella will have all organic pop cup. Organic? Yes, everything organic. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free. 4, 3, 7. Oh, are you good? 4, 3, 2. Hold your chest lifted. We're gonna lift. We have to protect all men in America, especially all white men in America. Those are the boys that we care about in this country. America is built on their backs. Yes, because they are the ones who mattered most.
There you go. A little comedy skit there. I don't know who did it, but
his name is Drewski, comedian I've never heard of, but boy, did he blow up after that one. And so for people who were listening and not getting the visual picture, which I'd recommend going to the Twitch. Does it save on Twitch? But Rumble or YouTube, and just kind of catch this little thing, or go to Drewski's thing. But it's, he's dressed up as Erika Kirk in this exaggerated way. But again, it wouldn't be a thing at all if the behavior wasn't so mockable.
Yeah, it was pretty spot on. It's a little exaggerated, but pretty fun. Pretty fun. That's best comedy.
Yeah, it's a lot of visual stuff. So
yeah.
Anyhow, Michael Shellenberger, who's weirdly I don't know, there's something weird about this guy, but he's talking to Joe Kent. We've talked about. He was number 2 behind Tulsi in DNI, Department of National Intelligence, and so he,
on this episode.
He's been making this making trouble by talking about, we were looking into this potential foreign involvement in the Charlie Kirk assassination. So he's gotten himself in trouble for that. And so here he is with Shellenberger, and this caused such a stir.
And if you say, hey, this part's off the record, then you can go off the record. Okay. Amazing. And, all right. So, I mean, the first is just, do you think that the FBI's leak investigation into you was weaponized to silence your, what you were saying? Or was it retaliation? Was it before you wrote your note and left?
It wasn't before I wrote my note and left. Up until the time I told the vice president and the president that I was done, I had full access. I was fully the director. The procedure when you're under investigation is they at least suspend your clearance. And so none of that happened. No one had talked to me. So So I view this as not necessarily even retaliation yet. I view it as a media counter narrative. I don't take it very credible, because if the FBI was really going to come after me, they wouldn't leak it to a bunch of media outlets. But they leaked it at a time. I don't even think the FBI leaked it. I think like the White House comm shop leaked it to come out at the same time my Tucker interview was coming out. It just seems to me like more of a media counter narrative than anything else.
Yeah, it makes sense. And are you asking for? Do you want a Office of Inspector General investigation or a congressional investigation? What are your asks?
I don't know if I really have any specific asks. I just want the murder of Charlie Kirk. In terms of Charlie Kirk, I just want the murder of Charlie Kirk to be fully investigated. And as I said, previously, like on Tucker and other programs, I know for a fact that at least the foreign ties portion that NCTC was responsible for, that was not thoroughly investigated. So, yeah, I would like that investigation to continue.
Yeah, I mean, that's an amazing. So, I mean, do you feel like can you just say, was it just sort of a kind of pattern analysis and speculation, or were you actually seeing like signals intelligence, financial records, travel data, intercepts, something that was more concrete that when you refer to those leads, I think you said the decent amount of leads that came up?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say almost all of the above, because I don't think we really even got very far. And so I can't say that like, hey, there's this one thing that I think is hotter of a lead than another lead. We had a decent amount of leads because there was a big crowd there that day. Charlie had an international following, right? So we were just at the very beginning of doing basic investigatory work on foreign leads. So I can't even tell you on or off the record, like, hey, this one thing. There's a couple specific things that I would, if I were put back on the case, I would start looking at immediately because I think they require attention that I can't get into. But just doing the basic, I would say, curious investigator work 101, we didn't get started on that. Or we had just got started and we kind of got waved off.
Okay. And had you seen anything on any specific foreign country?
Well, not foreign country specifically. Our goal was, our purview was foreign, period. So that could be foreign countries, foreign businesses, that could be foreign individuals. I didn't have any, like, this one country was heavily implicated, etc. There's some that have already been in the news that I don't want to point to give them more or less credibility. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, there were still more foreign links, I think is the best way to put it.
And then, so nothing, just to address the speculation, nothing specifically on Israel?
No, nothing specific on, like, the state of Israel. No.
And nothing specific on, like, Israel cutouts or?
It'd be speculating for me to say yes. So no, nothing specific on that. Again, like, there was foreign leads that we needed to run down still that has to be looked into.
Okay. I mean, I was just trying to figure out if it was just like, in other words, it sounded like from the interview that it was just kind of like, Charlie had warned against the war. He had complained. Certainly, it looks like in those messages that Candace Owens produced, complained of his Jewish donors. But like nothing beyond that, suggesting like nobody like tied to Tyler. I mean, I guess the question is like, really, is there anything showing Tyler Robinson having relationships outside of himself? Because I think the whole idea appears to be, or he's being prosecuted as just a lone shooter.
I personally have always found the lone shooter narrative to be challenging, but that's just my opinion. Okay. Again, my focus wasn't, because Tyler Robinson is an American. Tyler was never exactly where we were looking. We were looking for links. And again, I fully investigating him for foreign links, I don't think that due diligence was done. Him and his associates is what I would say. I don't think that due diligence was done.
Do you want to just be on the record, and then if you say
that's it right there,
that is conspiracy trash.
And then he said he would testify. Apparently, he said he would testify, and people are saying on behalf of Tyler Robinson, but he would testify in court, basically the kinds of stuff that he's saying there, which is...
Sorry, Joe. I just want to put some typing in the background to make it sound like I'm taking notes.
Yeah, you'd think Shellenberger, as seasoned as he is, you'd think he wouldn't be wanging away with sledgehammers on his mechanical keyboard.
I got to put a new piece of paper in my typewriter. There we go.
I know, because he's good at production and all that stuff. So I don't know if this was some.
Well, it's clear I think he had his phone down on the desk or something because he kept starting and stopping like the little you heard the chirp noise of the I think it's the voice recorder app or something like that that kept starting and stopping.
Right.
So he was probably collecting that just for his own internal reference and didn't plan to publish it, but then decided to later. But
yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the impression I had too. He was writing an article and he was taking notes, and then he was also recording himself, which makes sense because if you're in a meeting and you want, now if it's like Zoom or any of these guys, Teams, they do your AI summary and your action items and all that stuff. So
I don't know why you just didn't record a thing and then have ChatGPT transcribe it, and then you don't got to type anything. This guy
not understand. He might not know how to leverage AI like that, but it is one of those things that's pretty awesome. Like I've been able to upload videos to ChatGPT and say, what do you think of this layout? Because I'll put like titles and stuff, and it's like, I like what you're doing. I can see what you're doing here, but you might want to put a little bit of a drop shadow over there, or maybe a gradient. And it's like, damn, we're pretty far along with this shit.
We are. Let me take some notes.
By the way, if there's one thing I found recently that AI is fantastic for,
good point,
is the stuff on YouTube. And someone's like, you got to watch this video. It's 7 hours long, right? YouTube has the little, YouTube Gemini button there, and one of the options it gives is summarize this video, and so it'll dump a summary of just a paragraph or two, so I can scan that and see, is this something I would now want to go find? And then if I do, I can then look at the transcript and search for the part where they're talking about the thing that somebody referenced, so I don't have to go through 9 hours of some video about some dude. So
yeah, totally. So yeah, Joe is being very, he wants to be careful about his language, which makes sense because he could get himself into a lot of trouble. It would be very interesting. I don't know if he's a drinker, but just to get him hammered and have him lay it all out, because
that would be great.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. If anybody knows him, tell him I'll buy him a beer.
Take him down the Roosters. Take him to Roosters. Take him to where do you guys?
Chachos.
Yeah, Chachos.
Let's do it.
Let's get this guy hammered on tequila.
Yeah. The Margarita Bowl.
Oh, yes.
This guy does a good job summarizing the Charlie Robinson thing. I know everybody likes to make fun of it, and I think this has the goofy music behind it. But it's always worth remembering. I mean, again, it's like, how is Charlie Kirk so entangled with the war in Iran? Well, I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. You don't want it to be the thing, but it is.
All right, let's take a look. Here we go.
Really happened to Charlie Kirk?
I would just like an explanation of how this kid got a 30-06 that was taken apart onto a building, put it back together, and the scope on with one screwdriver, took a cold bore shot and hit it, took the gun apart with the same screwdriver, and then he left the screwdriver on the roof. He jumped down without the screwdriver, ran to trees, put it back together, wrapped it in a thing, and ran away and texted his lover, not the way a 22-year-old would text someone, but the way someone that spoke English as a second language would text someone. Just tell me how that happened. And then just with Erika Kirk saying, I forgive him. Well, that says guilt. So he's guilty. Don't worry about it. Oh, by the way, did they pave over a crime scene?
Yeah.
That actually happened? That was one of my questions. Why'd you do that? What's the cover up? I mean, I've shot a lot of dudes close, and that's an exit wound right there.
What really happened to Charlie Kirk?
I would just...
Man, who's this guy who shot a lot of dudes? I'm hoping a veteran,
Yeah, he's former, I think he was SEAL team.
Yeah, okay. He looked like a guy who can do some damage.
Yeah, he made the rounds right after this was all done, and he was just kind of nonchalant about, like, dude, I've killed people. Like, I know what it looks like. And he walks around pretty healthfully about it. I one time, there was a raccoon that got run over in front of my house in Atlanta, and kind of split the thing in two. So its whole back half was kind of smushed up, and it wasn't going to make it, obviously. And it's snarling. It's in the middle of the streets. It had babies, so there's like all these dead babies in the middle of the thing, and it's tragic. You know, it's like it's disgusting. This thing is suffering, and the neighbors and I are all out there looking around, and we're like, we should probably put this thing out of its misery, shouldn't we? And it's like, probably. And somebody was like suggesting that they hit it with a shovel, which I was like, that is pretty barbaric. And I said, I had a gun in the house, and if you want, we can. And everybody was kind of like, yep, let's do it. And I got to tell you, man, shooting an animal that was about to die, I was still traumatized by it.
It's tough. I haven't talked about this, but I recently had to put down a chicken by hand. And me and my wife. So typically, if there's a wounded chicken, I use the gun to do it. But this time, we did it by hand. So we held it down, and then I used a blade to forcibly sever the neck of the chicken. This is by hand. Ooh. And these are basically our outdoor pets. I know these are named. Once you name something, it gives it personality. It was incredibly traumatic to take the life of a chicken. I can't imagine a human or a large creature. It's got to be horrific.
Yeah. Now this guy talks about it like, no
big deal.
He stopped at McDonald's.
Yeah, this guy, this guy's a real man. I'm not, okay? This guy's just taking lives left and right.
You said it, not me.
Yeah.
All right, so last one before we get to the phones. This was early on after the assassination, and it's not like Alex Jones saying it. This is on Sean Hannity's show.
Okay. Let me just bring this up. This is on...
I have a source...
Sorry. There's two videos here. It's left or right? I see.
One.
I see. It's the one.
I have a source
on the left. It's
Hannity's. It could be both. Maybe you watch both.
Hannity's on the left. Okay.
I have a source in the intelligence community, John, that said that there might be post-assassination pieces of a puzzle that might be put together, that there might be a foreign component to it. Yeah. Again, we don't know for sure. I know it's being discussed. Have you heard the same thing?
Yes, there is a group or two of interest that are in the Salt Lake City area that they're looking at, just because of certain recent activities overseas and certain intelligence shared by a foreign friendly from the United States doesn't necessarily mean that it is connected to the shooting. I suspect, though, it's going to result in some action, even if it's not tied to the shooting. But there is a small foreign component that's being looked at. Again, all leads are open. I don't think they've locked into a final theory of the case yet.
Interesting. What happened to that?
Dude, that was early on. It's like, it's a lot of these things. Like when Sandy Hook happened and there was the dude running out in the woods.
Yes.
And then everybody forgot about it. It's who was that guy?
I don't know. We're still trying to figure out what was going on there. Who was that?
Tom Pappard.
It might have been Tom.
Could have been.
All right, we'll put the can on my ass today.
All right, we're going to go just take one or two phone calls right now. We're going to do that. Get the phones open. Come on.
Now let's go ahead and take the phone calls.
And let me bring this open. Here we go. This is for legitimate calls only with serious inquiries. Here we go. Phone number is 513. Okay.
No need to say it. They already know it.
Caller, you are on the air.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, who we talking to?
This is Scotty.
Scotty, what's going on?
Not much, man. Shit, you guys are talking about the Erika Kirk thing, and it really appears to me like very similar to the Courtney Love, Kurt Cobain thing, and she seems like a handler. If you look at her mother's ties with the, intelligence, and she did a commercial for the CIA even, I think back in 2013 or a ways back. So she looks like she's wrapped up in that, where she might have been the handler, for Kirk. And, just like Courtney Love, the guy ends up dead. But with that said, I have to say, Candace, as much as I appreciate her point of view on it, her husband also looks suspicious, George Farmer. You look in his background, it is checkered with all kinds of stuff that is red flags. I mean, the Bullion Dun Club or whatever at Oxford he's part of. So this all seems like handlers to me. Everybody's a handler and kind of just coaching everybody.
It could be it could be like a QAnon 2.0 situation. We don't know.
Well, QAnon was some, disinformation in my book, but, the handlers these days, from my view, are the wives. If you look at some of these corrupted or compromised music people in the industry, their wives, the hip-hop guys, I mean, they all have really suspect wives that appear to be coming out of the intelligence community. And Courtney Love definitely was CIA. She was out of the farm, and she handled Kurt Cobain and all of the interactions there with his suicide. And, so, I mean, it appears that Erika Kirk could have been Charlie Kirk's handler.
Did you happen to catch Kash Patel having his Gooner profile from XTube or whatever exposed? I don't know how real this is. I just saw it going by last night. But his girlfriend is, honeypot. Look, you wouldn't be upset about being called a honeypot if
it's kind of a compliment,
I
she's a country singer, but apparently she's super into Kash Patel, who is, not a looker.
Come on, Joe.
Yeah.
Right.
It's out of their playbook, I think, to have the female come in as the lead controller or whatever it is, which is makes sense. But I don't know. I mean, all this Erika stuff, especially when she's like doing all this almost non-grieving. It's like she's playing a role,
It does feel like she's performing a bit, yes.
Yes, I mean, it feels like it's coming right out of that CIA's book. And I mean, I don't know if they're, there's no way to backtrack through the information and confirm this or confirm that, but it all looks suspect. And
if she is performing, she needs to read that book again because she's not doing a good job.
True. But if you look at her mother is got ties to the intelligence community, and they say it's the Defense Department contracts, but I say there's actually CIA, also overlap. And with Erika doing that commercial for the CIA, that's really suspect.
Yeah.
Like, was it 13 years ago? Before she ever met
that's like
Erika,
that Thomas Crooks, the guy who took the shot supposedly at Trump, being in the
BlackRock
commercial. Yeah.
Yes, it's absolutely great cross correlation there. That was so, it's exact same thing. It's almost mirrored, but, we're using that BlackRock commercial, that kind of super dorky kind of acne guy, which he didn't make much sense either, for shooters. But no guy like this Robinson or whatever is going to have a 30-06 on this rooftop, make this shot, and then take it apart with a screwdriver, bring it down to the ground, and then reassemble it. Wouldn't you hide it when it's in a smaller, more concealable a breakdown kind of
you would imagine, but
do not question.
You don't understand the mind of a true assassin, Scotty.
Yeah, because then he goes to Dairy Queen shortly afterwards because, I need ice cream after I murder somebody.
Right, hot treat, cool treats, hot treats, whatever, right then.
Yeah. Apparently they have the best fries.
I like to eat.
Yeah, and then the whole text where he spells it all out, just kind of literally spells it out, like that one guy said, like a foreigner talking. I mean, that's like some guy on some keyboard texted that up real quick right as you're trying to connect all these dots. But, hey, one last thing, too, like real quick. I mean, you guys never talked about that Australian shooting that was like 3 months ago on that
Bondi
Jewish
Beach.
holiday, the Yom Kippur. I can't remember what holiday.
Yeah, we
it was,
didn't.
But
it was.
The
Bondi
crisis
Beach
actors
thing.
were all over that place, and the makeup artists were caught right there in the yard, and
It's
it was
tough.
a complete crisis actor set up, and people have all this footage of it. I don't know if you guys saw that stuff, but
It's just we do a show like twice a week. There's so much news. It's tough to get to everything.
I know.
And
it was just the crisis actors got busted on that one really bad. I mean, this is more than like the Montego, the Las Vegas shooting. We had all the ambulances, like 22 ambulances in a parking lot at that Perkins, and all this other crisis actor stuff. The Australian one, I mean, they got nailed with all these crisis actors, these makeup tables and all this stuff. Somebody got pictures of it all, and I mean, they got caught with their pants down in that one. But nobody, it's old news already. But
Yeah.
yeah, I must have missed you guys talking about it.
I don't think we went deep into it. It was, I believe, it was either just after the holiday or before, so it got lost in the shuffle. So maybe at some point in time we'll do a retrospective.
Yeah, I mean, it got lost everywhere. I think it brushed over by all alternative medias for the most part. There's a couple other things that happened right after it that distracted everybody. But if you look up the people that are on the ground right there that took pictures of everything, all of these crisis actors with their makeup tables sitting right there getting their makeup done for their injuries. I mean, it's just right there. It's like, what the hell? I mean, and nobody wants to call that out, or I don't know. Somebody's got to be accountable for
one of the key witnesses, apparently, if I'm remembering correctly, they reported, he survived October 7th only to be a part of the Bondi Beach massacre. It's like, yeah, right.
No, I heard that, and that's an untouchable topic. Once they hit that third rail, they kind of add in that, it's kind of like being like, oh yeah, something about your relatives, like, hey man, that guy just died, and then you can't even respond to it. They pull that move out every time.
All right, Scotty, we got to move on. We got to get to Gretchen.
All right, baby, appreciate it, guys. You guys have a good one.
All right, take care.
All right, probably prank caller.
Probably.
All right,
Shut
Gretchen.
it down.
Gretchen, it's your time to shine. Here we go.
And it all began when I got a call from a guy named Jerry Smith.
That's when it all began.
To talk to a guy named Matt.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to a guy named Ron. Yeah.
So I'm on my way to speak with a gentleman named Ron.
Oh, wait. I'm excited to talk to Matt.
I'm excited to speak with Matt.
Yes.
That's right. Matt's got good information. And yes, for our Australian listeners, I know it's Bondi Beach, but yeah. We'd like to keep an eye on job opportunities as they come up. There's some good job listings. Generally, there's C-suite listings for a lot of these positions. Here's another one. Mike, this might appeal to you because you were helping a gentleman in Florida collect VHS copies of the film Titanic.
Yeah, I have like 2 copies here, and I need to send them off. I got to do a follow-up on this.
So here is an opportunity that might align with that.
Okay, here is looks like a little headline here. Chief VHS officer. This is a job title.
Oh, really?
We're paying 3 people $250 each to sit on their couch, watch VHS tapes, and report back because some things are worth rewinding. Winners receive a VCR shipped to their door. Applications close June 15th. I will do this.
What is all this stuff?
Okay, apply now. It's free. So why are they doing this?
It's not clear.
Okay, it says what you're helping us find out. This is what. So I scrolled down. I just started to scroll, and this is what I discovered. Your completed survey becomes part of a behavioral study that Watch Roster will publish in 2026. The findings will be publicly released on watchroster.com VHS study 2026. Here's what we're trying to answer. Do people pay more attention watching VHS than they do streaming? What percentage of Gen Z have never used a VHS player? I would say a high percentage at this point. How many people actually finish a movie on VHS versus dropping off midstream? Or they say midstream, but wouldn't it be mid-movie?
No, they're talking about if you're streaming.
Oh, I see. Versus.
Then you just kind of get distracted and start doing something else.
Does removing skip and fast forward actually change how you watch a film? Well, you still have that on. You have fast forward on VHS.
Yeah, fast forward.
Yeah. These people don't even know what VHS is. Did watching on VHS make people feel more committed to finishing the movie? Did participants check their phone less or more during VHS during their streaming session? Interesting. I kind of like it. It's $250 per winner, 3 winners total. And I don't know why he called it winner. It's just part of a study. You've been selected for a study. Now, maybe I am not able to participate because I'm Gen X. I've grew up with VHS. I know the technology. So maybe I'm not the ideal candidate for this. But I would like the money. So I don't know.
I need money.
Where's the official? There's a thing down here that says see official rules, but I don't see the actual official rules. Oh, here they are. Way at the bottom in the small text.
Oh, cool.
Eligibility open to legal residents of the 50 United States and District of Columbia who are 18 years or older. So you're good to go, Mike.
Okay. That's the only criteria?
Yes.
Okay.
And you can't be an employee of Watch Roster, but...
Well, okay. I don't think that I am that. So that's it. 18 or older.
Yeah, fill out a form. 3 winners randomly selected. Everyone receives, all the winners receive $250. 1 VCR shipped to the winner's mailing address. And I assume they're sending tapes.
Do I get to keep the tapes?
It's also not clear. Do you get to choose what to watch, or are they going to send you some just terrible, like, here's 4 hours of stock footage?
Yeah. I'll sign up. I'll do it. I love to watch movies. And even if it's just 2 hours of, B movies, I like that too. So
yes,
I'm going to apply today. Tell my parents that I finally got a job just sitting around watching shit. This is what I like to do.
Harkens back to your mom yelling at you.
Like they used to yell at me. It's like, well,
no one's going to pay you to just sit around all day.
Yeah, it's like, you're just going to sit around and watch TV all day, Mike? No one's going to pay you to do that. It's like, aha. Now they are. Well, I'd like to
showed her. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a great opportunity for me and everyone out there. But let's move on. See what else you got out there.
It's crazy.
Now, Mike, another thing I know you love a little bit more probably than VHS tapes.
I love it.
Are pickles.
No, I do not. I do not like pickles.
So credit to Vanden for posting this in the Discord a few days ago. Because you love pickles so much, here is a special piece of outerwear that you can wear this around to have your pickles ready at all times.
Oh, great.
Pickles.
Let's see here. Here we go. This is what I don't want, but I might get. Yes, KFC's pickle puffer is the wildest piece of fast food merch yet.
Oh, really?
Ever. So it's got it's like a North Face kind of jacket, like a puffy jacket, but it looks to be see-through, transparent, and inside is a bunch of pickle slices. And
the pickle juice that has dripped down into the lower compartments.
Now, if I wear this during wintertime and it's really cold outside, does the pickle juice freeze, or does the pickle brine and the salty nature of that liquid prevent freezing?
That's a good question. Let's find out at which temperature pickle brine freezes.
And is this a good jacket? Does it keep insulation? Does it kind of like a wetsuit? Like, I don't know. Like, I'd really want to know the practicality of this. And then if I go into a mosh pit with this jacket on, will I just be exploding pickle juice everywhere as these pockets burst? And can I sue KFC for this jacket? I don't know. But KFC's pickle...
This says, in general, pickle brine will maintain liquid form until -6 degrees Fahrenheit, -21 centigrade.
Oh, wow.
That's some good news on that front.
So you can be out in the winter and your pickles and pickle brine will still be edible for you, not frozen.
Fantastic. Well, KFC's pickle puffer sounds like something the internet would joke about once and move on from. Instead, KFC UK has turned this into a real thing. The KFC pickle puffer jacket takes the idea at face value. It's a wearable puffer packed with sliced pickles and pickle brine, finished with a built-in straw so you can slurp straight from it.
Oh, this is what I want. This is what I need.
It's absurd, fully committed, and somehow right on time. The drop ties directly into KFC UK's limited time Pickle Mania menu which pushes the same energy across the board. The lineup includes pickle burger, pickle loaded fries, Frickles, and pickle Pepsi Max, which already is dividing people before the first sips. This is
pickle Pepsi Max. Oh,
I just want to throw up.
Here's a guy wearing it. I bet you this is a real conversation starter at parties, though.
You know what this? You know where this actually? I need to get one of these and try it. Going through airport security.
Yes. Oh yeah. Take off your pickle jacket. But you're only allowed 3 ounces of liquid for carry-on. But it's part of my jacket, so it's not really a carry-on. It's part of my clothing.
I like to eat.
None of this happens in a vacuum. Pickles have taken over timelines, racking up billions of views across social media and fueling everything from taste tests to increasingly unhinged kitchen experiments. KFC didn't just notice, it jumped all the way in. You won't find a KFC pickle puffer sitting in stores, but fans can try to win one through a giveaway on KFC UK's Instagram. Okay, how can I don't even like pickles, but I would have the jacket. I would take the jacket.
By the way, that Instagram post there, it's a promotional video, so mute it immediately because it has very, very loud, just crap music behind it. But they do show this guy demonstrating some of the features of his perfect pickle puffer Peter Piper thing.
He seems to be really enjoying his puffer jacket.
Look at that guy.
He's drinking out of it, too. That's disgusting.
This is in the UK, so I can only imagine that there might be a gang of Islamic fundamentals that will behead him for the pickle jacket. But we hope that doesn't happen.
That's incredibly offensive and racist, and
Yes.
you would be going to jail.
I'm just saying, I hope it doesn't happen. It's probably very unlikely, but it is a very alluring jacket.
It occurs to me, since you've got this straw mechanism to dispense pickle juice at any time.
You got to refill it, though, at some point.
Well, you do have to refill it. That's true. But I'm saying this is now a service you can provide to other people when you go out to dinner. They may not have pickle juice on their food, and they may enjoy that. And so you are at the ready, able to provide them pickle juice, fresh pickle juice, direct from your clothing. To whatever they're eating.
I don't know if I just want random people coming up and asking for a sip for me, you know?
Sucking you.
I do not want random people coming around and saying, hey, can I take a pull off your jacket? No, I don't think
What if
so.
you're offering it in the same way that Alex Jones likes to go around and go over to somebody else's table and take a bite out of their steak?
Alex Jones could do that. I don't want to deal with that situation, no.
And sucked off the Jews.
Okay.
Oh,
jeez.
You know what always trips me up is these gas station bag pickles.
They can't be healthy.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
It's like an individual pickle in a bag.
It's like, it's kind of a ridiculous piece of convenience food.
Yeah. Who runs in and is like, I got to get some gas. Could you run in and grab me a pickle?
I believe that's actually pretty popular in some parts of the country where people just give me
down here, Texas.
Have a Coke and a pickle, yeah.
Coke and a pickle?
Yeah, it's very strange.
Pickles.
But it's like Joe said, it's a full size. Actually, it's not sliced or anything. It's a full on
big,
pickle,
fat pickle. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are in white the pickle any way you slice it.
That is true. Don't forget that Sam also liked pickles. I don't know why people like pickles, but they do like pickles.
I need pickles.
There you go.
Sam likes pickles. Have you guys done a pickle themed doom scrolling?
Not yet.
Pickles. The pickles.
There you go. There it is.
For someone who doesn't like pickles, Mike, you've got a lot of pickle-related paraphernalia.
I do. I have a lot of pickle drops. All right. Well, I'll try to enter. I'll try to win. I'll try to become the winner of the VHS contest. I'll sit down. I'll watch VHS movies with my pickle jacket on. And
enjoy fresh pickle juice whenever you want it.
While I watch my VHS tapes, yes.
I'm going to have to go back and update the Alex Jones themed convenience store list song I did because there's no reference to pickles in there.
Oh, he loves them. Yeah.
I'm just chilling in Cedar Rapids.
All right, so this one's comes from all places. I think it's the first time we've ever pulled a news story from the Weather Channel.
Whoa.
But there were some recent hailstorms going through parts of Florida, and this guy was concerned about the sunroof on his car.
I would be too.
And this was the best way he thought to protect the sunroof from getting smashed by a hailstorm.
Maybe with a board. I would,
that would be a better idea than what he tried.
Yeah, like
and
a
there's
wooden
video
board.
of this, and that's the only reason we're looking at this.
Plywood, All right. Florida man risks body to protect car in hailstorm.
Oh, really?
So he covered himself in what looks like a tarp, and he's just laying on his car in order to protect the sunroof.
I have to do it.
He's just sacrificing himself to get up there. He does not want to pay to replace his sunroof. I wonder, I suspect there's backstory to this that's happened recently to him, and it cost him way more money than you'd think to replace the sunroof on your car.
Maybe. This guy loves his car, too. I get it. There does appear to be a story with this. We'll see.
Do not try this at home. Do not. A Florida man risked bodily harm to protect his car from a burst of heavy hail in Palm Bay. He confirmed afterward that, yes, indeed, it hurt.
Okay, good for him. When a sudden burst of heavy hail hit Palm Beach, they just switched stories on me. They just literally switch stories. I mean,
yeah, when the video runs out, the Weather Channel has just a terrible, terrible, terrible website. But
yeah, okay, and there's really much. I think that said it all right there. I don't think there's any more that the story would provide that the video did not. But very fascinating. It just shows that how important people's cars are to them, and they want to protect them. Probably they want to claim insurance in that thing. So let's see here. Yeah, there's no more story on that, Gretchen. There's some comments. There are some comments.
Well, it's just something to keep in mind. Next time it starts to hail, you may want to run outside and lie down on top of your car.
It's a way to protect things. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. And the hail didn't look that big. It might have caused some dings, but I don't think it would have smashed through.
No, like I said, I suspect this happened recently to him or to a friend, and he doesn't want to deal with having to spend $1,000 to replace a sunroof.
Get a better job. How about that? Stop being lazy, punk.
Park your car indoors.
Yeah, get a roof.
What the hell was that?
That is Bill Clinton.
Didn't sound like him.
Is Bill Clinton kind of in reverse?
Oh, in reverse.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. So I had this story for Wednesday, and we didn't get to it. And then I saw you had this story for today, so now we have to get to it.
Oh. I wonder what one this is.
This is about the church.
Oh, I love church. I love talking about it. Here we go. Exorcists urge Pope to appoint trained practitioner in every diocese. Okay.
Oh, really?
I guess trained in exorcisms, I suppose.
There's a lot of demons out there. We got to take care of them.
Yeah. Representatives of the International Association of Exorcists, the AIE, have asked Pope Leo to ensure that every Catholic diocese worldwide has one or more trained exorcists, citing what they describe as a rise in cases linked to occult practices in spiritual distress. The request was made during a private audience on March 13th at the Vatican's Apostolist Palace, where the Pope met with some bishop and some father, president and vice president of the association. Meeting was focused on what the group described as an unprecedented challenge and unprecedented challenges facing the ministry of exorcism. During the hour-and-a-half meeting, the association presented the Pope with a detailed report warning of painful and increasingly widespread situation of people seriously affected by the extraordinary actions of the evil as a result of their involvement in occult sects. Wow. Well, I guess unless they tell us what these are, it's hard to really pinpoint like how they're going to address it. Do they consider? I know there's a widespread growth of witches on TikTok. Are they talking about TikTok witches? Are they talking about stuff in like local communities? We had that one witch seance in Colorado in relation to Trump and all that stuff. So maybe there is an increase.
Yeah, that was about Epstein. All the unemployed people went out there.
Yeah. The group's primary proposal was structural and educational, giving the great suffering caused by extraordinary actions of the devil. It emphasized the need for each diocese in the world to have one or more priest exorcists who are properly trained. I mean, that would be a pretty badass job title. Like, listen, I'm not going to give any sermons or tell you how to live your life. I'm here to combat demon possession. That is my job. I get in there and I run shit.
Well, and probably also to keep an eye in general on. I mean, I assume a lot of this is coming from parents coming up to folks in the church and explaining that they're worried about what their kids are doing, that sort of thing. And so now your exorcist shows up, jumps through the window, smashes in, blesses the kid, gets the demon out, all that right away.
They say right here, the spread of occultism in its various forms and of Satanism unfortunately opens the door and windows to extraordinary actions of the devil in today's world. This can cause grave suffering to those who impurities turn to these practices
imprudently.
Oh, imprudently. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Imprudently turn to these practices through possible cases of possession, vexation, obsession, or diabolical infestation. Ooh, that sounds like a bad one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Got to get the Ghostbusters in there for that one.
Let's see. I'm going to skip through this. Let's see here. One of the AIE's recent initiatives has been the publication of guidelines for the Ministry of Exorcism, a document reviewed by several Vatican dioceses or dioceses that offers doctoral and practical guidance. The text was presented to the Pope during the audience, along with an image of St. Michael the Archangel from the sanctuary of Monte Sant'Angelo. Okay, so I guess they gave him a cool picture and a book.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, this group clearly, and this is what they do, the Association of Exorcists. But they're saying they're concerned by the sheer number of people getting involved in things that could lead to requiring or needing, necessitating an exorcism. So they need more exorcists because we're booked out for months in advance. So we need more.
Maybe they're not off base here. Maybe that if you look
I don't necessarily disagree with any of this.
I don't know. I think a good exorcism, a lot of people could maybe benefit from an exorcism. Some weird stuff going on out there.
Some people could benefit from an exorcism.
Yeah, it's like you go to the gym. Well, go take care of your spiritual health too.
That dude did not wipe down the bench. Exercise that guy.
Yeah.
Just gets tackled.
Yeah.
2 priests come running out, tackle him.
There's no Hulkamaniacs here.
All right, Crash. That was a good one. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm glad that you brought this up because I didn't get a chance to. So one more.
Like I said, I had it last for our last show. I saw you had it in your list, so I figured it's worth looking at it.
You may start by unzipping your dress.
All right, let's see. Where do we want to go here? We'll go with this one. Some AI-related news. We love AI news. Everyone's using AI. We talked about earlier how we like to use AI. Joe was describing it, it helping with some video composition. I use it for summarizing stuff. Some folks in New Zealand are using it to give medical diagnoses, and they've been told to please stop.
Okay. Yes, Health New Zealand staff told to stop using ChatGPT to write clinical notes.
I'm upset by this.
I would be too. Yeah, I would be kind of upset. Like, look, I get it. No one wants to work anymore. We're in this post-work era. We're in the era of the super state and super intelligence when it comes to AI, and people feel, I guess, they've had enough. They're done working. So I get it.
Well, the downside of AI is it can very quickly, especially with text, it can very quickly generate a lot of content.
Mm-hmm.
People then assume said content is accurate and in this case medically sound, and they just copy and paste and move on. And that's kind of the crux here is don't take your notes, dump it in here, get a big dump of text, and then just send it to people because no one's actually reading it.
Well, New Zealand Health New Zealand says staff have been caught using free AI tools. Oh, they're not even paying for like the pro version.
I don't got $10 a month. Get out of here.
Free version of tools of ChatGPT and Gemini to write clinical notes. And a move, it says, could result in formal disciplinary action. Quote, it has come to my attention that there have been instances where it appears that AI drafting tools have been used to prepare clinical notes. The use of free AI tools for clinical purposes is strictly prohibited due to data security, privacy, and accountability concerns. What about the paid for? You're also they said
okay. I gave a credit card.
They said free AI tools.
Well, and I'm sure you guys go through this too for your at your company that there are approved tools to use, but you have to use the specific instance that has been set up for this.
Yeah,
because it's got data security wrapped around it. You're probably logging in through SSO. It's maintaining data structures and governance, as opposed to the free ones, which straight up tell you anything you put in here, we're dumping right back to the model for training.
Exactly.
So
if you pay
information you just put in about Midnight Mike showing up with a third leg now is public.
That's right. If you pay for like isolated sessions or not sharing your data, that's like an enterprise license to a certain degree. Mm-hmm. You can pick. Yeah. So yeah, the free ones, they're just gobbling it all up. They say doing so could result in formal disciplinary action. According to Health New Zealand wide AI policy, any AI tool must be registered with the Health of New Zealand National Artificial Intelligence and Algorithm Expert. Oh, they have an expert over there.
Some guy.
Oh, okay.
Some guy named Steve.
All right. Well, he'll tell us. Let me tell you, we are getting, at my work, flooded with so many requests for different AI tools, plugins. We are backlogged. We're log jammed up, reviewing all these different tools by people who want to be developers and produce all this fantastic content that is probably insecure. And once we review it all, they make their applications. And then when we ask them to go through security reviews and we ask them the finer points of what they're trying to accomplish, they don't know. And so when it comes to these health professionals using AI to write clinical notes and maybe even suggestions on prescriptions or diagnosis.
That's really the concern. Is like, these are not just notes. These things are going to then be, because what does AI like to do at the bottom of every prompt you have with Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT, Copilot, all of them have that thing to say, would you like me to do the following? And guarantee if you're putting medical things in there, it's going to be to provide you more information about possible treatments for this. And they're going to click that button and then copy and pasta right onto your into your medical records.
Yeah.
This is bullshit.
And if you ask one of these medical professionals, like, how did you come to this diagnosis? They're going to be, I don't know. They're going to say, I don't know. And so it's removing the human from thinking, and not always does. And I would say not even most of the time, the AI is not going to have the full context of the patient. It's not going to have how the doctor felt. It's not going to or any unspoken history that the doctor may have had in their brain about the patient. There's so many different variables that the AI is not able to account for, and without that, it's very dangerous. So Let's see here. Staff is turning to AI tools under enormous pressure.
Yeah. So this, by the way, this is an excuse. So the employees union is saying, no, we're doing this because we're so busy. We need to use these to be more efficient.
Yeah.
I have to do it.
So Führer Fitzsimmons, National Secretary for the Public Service Association, or the PSA, which represents many health and addiction service workers, says clinical staff were turning to AI tools because of an enormous pressure that they were under. A memo which opened by threatening formal disciplinary action was the wrong approach, she said. Quote, it's a warning shot that will make staff afraid to ask questions or seek help. So you got to watch your tone of voice with these people.
Yeah, that was mean. You
Yeah.
shouldn't have said that.
The Health New Zealand should be investing in proper training and approved tools, she said. Quote, let's not forget that Health New Zealand has been cutting the very teams responsible for digital systems and IT support. Its staff are improvising with free tools. Health New Zealand needs to examine why that is the case, not simply threatening staff with a breach of code of conduct. Okay? It's your fault, not us.
But note what they're complaining about was that they didn't say they're going to stop using AI.
No.
They just said you're not providing the right tools, and you've cut your IT staff who's not providing us with official tools, so we're just going to go use our random crap under our Google Gemini accounts. We're not going to stop doing this, nor are we going to go through the appropriate steps. Because if I go see my doctor and he takes a bunch of notes and then goes back and writes up those notes from my record, so when we go back 3 months later, they're in there. I'm expecting that he's actually doing that work, not pasting it into ChatGPT, hitting export, and just pasting it in there.
To a certain degree, I can sympathize with the staff. Okay, so here's the situation, is that the higher-ups at some of these companies are telling the employees to use AI tools in order for faster turnaround, to
see more patients,
to increase work productivity. And you can do it because of AI. And the IT, in my case, security, we are seen as blockers because we are not authorized. We have not authorized or made available enough of these AI tools for them to use. So they are going out on their own, downloading stuff, and taking it upon themselves to introduce a different workflow. So we are seen as the stopper of their work.
You're a bottleneck, yeah. And they move so quickly, like, in my role, like, you have to get all these tools approved, and it's like, yeah, but they're different every day, and there's a new one every day. And I'm sorry, you guys don't know jack squat about design or any of this stuff. So I don't know.
Trust me, Joe. I
get it though.
I was just tasked with reviewing a Figma AI tool, the an MCP server, which looks good on the surface. And it's tough because when you're inundated with 10 different AI tools a day to review, it makes your head spin. It does. And I get it. I don't want to stop people from doing work, but I also don't want to approve something that is going to create a bad situation down the line.
Figma is really crazy too, because it's like all these different plugins and stuff that you can add. A lot of these have AI in them, and the speed at which Figma was moving before AI became a thing. Like that's why Adobe wanted to buy them, is because they were eating their lunch within 4 years of being put out.
Why doesn't Photoshop have built-in photo generation?
They do. It's called Firefly, and it's garbage.
Yeah, but like on the application, it's like I have to use the online version of Photoshop to do anything. Like Adobe's so behind the times with AI,
dude. It's like they are, and it reminds me of Microsoft. Why do I have to make PowerPoint easier to use? Because fuck you. What are you going to do?
Claude can make me a PowerPoint in 5 minutes, not even. And I have to sit around.
You got to clean that shit up. You got to clean that shit up.
Of course, you got to read what the output is. But
even the design is trash.
Mike, if you have to review that many AI tools, I suggest you just use AI to do it.
I've begun to do that. Yes, I have.
I was on a sort of paying attention to a webinar this week on some systems, and the guy was presenting with very clearly GPT generated slides. Just all that you can see him at a glance. You just look at him, which means he didn't vet them, and he was reading an AI generated speech on whatever he was presenting on, which means I've got an AI. This guy's just being the human meat puppet in the middle. He's reading a speech showing AI-generated images. I'm like, why didn't you just release this as a video, dude? Why are we sitting here listening to you?
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Hey, so, Gretchen, are you being cutesy when you say Jiminy or whatever you're saying?
Jiminy and Coppolet?
Yeah.
People say ChatGPT.
No, I'm doing it to just to annoy people. So Jiminy and then Microsoft Coppolet.
I've seen ChatGPT, Jiminy. Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
You saying Coppolet is just enough for me to go, what? Because nobody uses Copilot.
Exactly.
What a turd that is. It's Firefly and Copilot. Go off and, do whatever you need.
Oh, Fury Flea, yeah.
Fury Flea.
Fury Flea. Oh, look at you. You're quick on the draw here.
It's all just to needle people for that. But yes, I'm just making fun of the people who say Jiminy instead of Jiminy.
Cretched on his other podcast that shall not be named.
Yeah.
Took a big dump.
It's the JiminyCast.com.
The Coppolet Cast.
Coppolet Cast.
Well, thank you all. Check the Patreon. Go to OBDMpod.com or RBDMouth.com. I'll be posting up the alien abduction book bundle here soon for the next giveaway. We'll be back on Wednesday for another fantastic show. I can feel it. And the news won't stop.
No promises.
The news will not stop.
Wiener.
I remember that. That was a good one.
Bulging penis.
All right. Hey, thank you, Joe. Thank you, Cratchit. Shop-a-goo, everyone.
There you go. And keep watching the skis. There's all these meteors.
That's good news.
We need to obey the first law of holes.
That's about all.
Shablagu. Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.
Until next week. Nanu. Nanu.
What is going on? What is going on? What is going on?